Yo, what's up, my big old global fam? Whether you're one of the OGs or just sliding in here for the first time, welcome to the crew. Smash that like button and hit subscribe if you dig what we're dropping. Alright, buckle up.
On March 15th, 2024, the Houthis pulled a bold move. They launched a counterattack on the USS Truman Strike Group. Yeah, we're talking one of the biggest naval throwdowns the US has seen since World War II. And even though it might seem like a total mismatch, this fight got way closer than anyone expected. We're talking seconds deciding the line between victory and disaster. So here's how it went down. Around 6 p.m. local time that Saturday, the Truman Strike Group, made up of the aircraft carrier Harry S. Truman, cruiser USS Gettysburg, and destroyers Stout, Jason Dunham, and Sullivan, was cruising about 50 miles off the coast of Yemen. Out of nowhere, the radar started picking up something sketchy.
Now these Aegis-equipped ships? They're packing serious radar tech, like 12-ton spy radar arrays with over 4,000 individual modules on each face. Every Aegis ship's got 4 of these beasts, giving them a max detection range of about 175 nautical miles. They sail in formation, spreading out about 20 miles from each other to create a defensive bubble around the carrier.
Right at 6 p.m., the spy radars on Gettysburg and Stout picked up some fast-moving blips on the screen. This wasn't just birds or clouds. Their advanced systems, powered by some wild computer algorithms, crunched the data in real time and flagged these contacts as serious threats. Heading straight for the group, within seconds alarms were blaring across the escort ships. Even though these crews had been out here for months, dodging all kinds of attacks, something about this one felt different. What they didn't know? The Houthis were holding a nasty surprise. A secret stash of weapons saved just for a scenario like this. After getting smacked around earlier that day, they wanted payback. And they brought out the big guns, like this missile called the AIF. This bad boy? It's the most advanced anti-ship cruise missile the Houthis got. It's basically based on Iran's short-range ballistic missile, the Fateh 313. We're talking a 550-kilo explosive warhead, and it can fly at Mach 3. That's around 2,300 mph.
The strike group only had seconds to react, sometimes just 15 to 30 seconds. No joke. And here's the scary part. As the AIF missiles made their 450 km flight path, they were sea-skimming, flying just 20 meters above the ground, then dropping down to only 5 meters above the water when over the sea. That low altitude, it makes them super hard to detect, like they're flying under the radar, literally sliding right under the ship's detection range. Gettysburg was the first to catch the threat, since it was out front on picket duty. Think of it as the scout posted ahead of the main force, keeping eyes peeled for trouble.
On radar, the crew spotted 2 incoming missiles moving fast. Time to react. The Aegis system kicked in and recommended firing SM-6 missiles. The tactical action officer green-lit it. Boom! Within seconds, 3 SM-6S launched from their vertical launch cells, locked onto the targets.
Now the SM-6, that's top-shelf gear, one of the Navy's most advanced air defense missiles. It moves at over 1 kilometer per second, way faster than the AIFs. Officially, it's got a range of about 240 kilometers, but word is it can go even further, and it can hit targets flying as high as 70,000 feet.
As soon as those SM-6S left the tubes, their active seekers lit up, scanning the sky. The Aegis radar already told them where the enemy missiles were headed. That nose-mounted active radar makes the SM-6 way more precise than older SM-2S, which need constant guidance from the ship. The SM-6, once it's out there, it handles business on its own. The radar's scanning for targets, and that split-second timing, yeah, it matters big time when you're dealing with fast-moving threats. Even a tiny delay from the ship can mean the difference between blasting that missile out of the sky or getting smacked by it.
But thanks to the insane tracking power of the SM-6S, they lock onto those sea-skimming ASF missiles and take both out clean. The crew's just about to celebrate when the Hoodies hit them with some real bad news. That was just round 1.
See, while the Truman Strike Group was laser-focused on those first 2 speed demons, they totally missed the fact that the Hoodies had launched a whole swarm of missiles, like anywhere from 4 to 16 more, based on intel. These new ones? Not quite as deadly as those ASFs, but still nasty enough to rip a chunk out of the ship if they connect. They're called Al-Mandab 2S. basically upgraded versions of the classic Charlie 802 anti-ship cruise missiles the Hoodies love.
With help from Iran, these babies got longer range, up to 300 clicks, and a better targeting system that feeds them coordinates from a radar station on the shore. Once they get close, the missiles switch to onboard targeting for the final punch.
So now the Truman Group's got a real problem. A ton of incoming missiles and limited ammo. Yeah, each destroyer's got 96 VLS cells, but they're not all packed with SM-2S or SM-6S. Some cells are loaded with Tomahawks, evolved Sea Sparrows, or anti-sub weapons. Realistically, each ship's only got about 50 missiles for air defense. Back in the day, 50 was plenty. But with this high-stakes conflict, 174 attacks on U.S. ships since 2023, those numbers just don't cut it anymore, and you can't reload those VLS cells at sea.
So the captains of Stout, Jason, Dunham, and Sullivan gotta play it smart.
That's where CEC, Cooperative Engagement Capability, comes in. It's like a big digital brain that links all the ships together. They share radar data in real time, up to 850 megabytes per second, so every ship sees what the others see. Let's break it down. Say one destroyer east of Truman can shoot 200 nautical miles out, but can only see 100. And another ship to the west is the same. Alone, they've each got limits. But linked with CEC, the western ship can now use radar data from the eastern ship, basically doubling its reach. So Jason Dunham feeds radar tracks to Stout and Sullivan, syncing everyone up. Now they've got a full 360 view and can coordinate their fire. When the first batch of about 10 missiles comes in, they group up, making them easier targets. Each destroyer picks a different set, so no single ship burns through all its ammo. SM-2s launch fast, like Mach 3.5 fast. Their range is a bit shorter than SM-6s, around 200 kilometers, but they're perfect for less advanced threats like the Mandabs. And here's where the Mk99 illuminators come in, basically supercharged laser pointers, shining 10 kilowatts of focused energy per second on the incoming missiles. The ship's radar tells the illuminators where to aim, and they paint the target for the SM-2s to home in on. It might sound slow, but the system refreshes dozens of times per second. As the SM-2s get close, they switch on their internal seekers, and boom, lighten up those Mandabs like fireworks. Meanwhile, the spy radar's sweeping the skies non-stop, looking for any leftover pieces. If it spots something that matches a missile's profile, based on speed, height, distance, it flags it for interception. Better to waste a $3 million missile than eat a $30 million repair bill, right? One by one, the SM-2s knock out the rest, until only a few stragglers are left.
At this point, Stout's way closer to shore, and its captain decides to stop wasting the fancy missiles and switch to budget options for close combat. Enter the CIWS, Close-In Weapon System aka SeaWiz. This beast is a 20mm 6-barrel Gatling gun that brings the pain. It's got its own radar and can track up to 1,400 fire control solutions per minute, fires 4,500 rounds a minute. That's just under 100 bullets a second. SeaWiz sees threats from 8 miles out and can light them up from a mile away, even when they're flying at Mach 2. The crew's been through this before. They aim, fire, and just shred incoming missiles as they show their faces, but SeaWiz runs dry fast. It only holds 300 rounds, and those get dumped in under 5 seconds. When it's empty, last resort time.
Now we're talking about the Mk36 SRBOC, Super Rapid Bloom Offboard Countermeasures. Fancy name for a giant party popper. Jason Dunham's got 2 launchers, 6 rounds per side. They fire out canisters full of chaff, millions of tiny aluminum strips that heat up and create a massive radar signature. Goal? Trick incoming missiles into thinking the chaff cloud is the ship, and it works. The wind catches the cloud, missiles veer toward it, and splash harmlessly into the ocean. With the threat finally neutralized and the radar screen finally clear after hours of chaos, the Truman Strike Group can catch their breath, for now. But little do they know, the Hoodies aren't done yet.
Yo, thanks for hanging out and watching this wild ride. Drop a comment and tell us what you think. And don't forget to smash that like button, sub to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Here at X News, we keep it real, we keep it raw, and we bring you the facts with some flavor. Catch you in the next